G'day, this video will go through a couple of hints and ideas for questions from the chapter review, question 3 and question 5. So this is actually, I think, part E of question 3. Or it might even be further than that. Yeah, no, this is part E. So we're sort of assuming that we've done everything else and we know everything else. So what I've done is I've put down this little diagram here. We know the points A and B. In fact, I think we also know the point C as well. I think that's 8, 15. And I'm not sure if we know the point D. No, we do. We know that one. That's 66 over 7 and 82 over 7 as well. So we know all of those things. We also know that the point, so this line here, cuts B and A in half because it's a bisector, and it goes through the point D. It's not quite drawn to scale here because that should be a right angle, and it should, sort of nicely work and should be the same distance from there to there as there to there, but still, I think you might get the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into two different parts. There's probably other ways of doing this question, probably simpler ways, but I feel like this way does work, even though you have to do lots and lots of calculations. But this is the way I'm going to go about it. So I'm going to break it up into two parts. One of them being this trapezium just here, and the other being this triangle just here, this right angled triangle there as well. So I guess I've got my two shapes here. I'm going to call this point here S, actually. I can work out what the coordinates are of that just in a little bit, but that's where I'm going to go from there. So I've got these two shapes, they're a trapezium and a triangle. And I know that the area of each shape is this formula here. So half times this line plus this line, all multiplied by the height, or SB in this case. And I know the area of this one is just half times SD times SA. And then I add both of the areas together and I should get my total height. Just a note of caution, I probably shouldn't have drawn it like this because it looks like to get BC is actually quite easy. It's just, it looks like it's a straight line, but it is a straight line, but it's not like that. It's actually on an angle. So to get the length BC, you actually have to do the distance formula. So the square root of this one minus this one squared and this one minus this one squared. So the square root of all of that, by the way. So that'll get you BC, and then to get SD, you have to do a similar thing. You also have to get the coordinates of S. I guess the coordinates of S are halfway between A and B. I guess you can work out how to get that, the midpoint. And once you've got all of those things, you can put it into these respective formulas here, get the two areas, add them together. I'd really encourage you to use your calculator for a lot of the grunt work, because there's just heaps of, there's some fractions and ugly square root signs and all that sort of stuff, but you put it all into your calculator and you do actually get the right answer. In another video, I'll show you how to do it from start to finish. I'll go through the question for you, but I thought I'd give you that just as a trial. The next question you asked about, I believe, was question 5. Again, it was towards the end of the question. 5F and 5G. Again, you need a whole bunch of the other information first, but I guess we know a few things. And this one, I'll try and not completely do the question, but I feel like with this one I have to kind of lead you almost the whole way through. So I won't be able to sort of stop it a bit short. But we know that from A to B, or A is this point, B is this point, and we've got this line here. And what the question says, it says that P is an element of AB, so P exists on this line AB. And it also says that that AP, the ratio of AP to AB, or AP to PB, is 3 to 1. So what that really means is that from A to P is 3 times bigger than P to B. So imagine if the line is 4 parts long. I get the 4 parts from this here, so 3 parts to 1 part, so the total of 4 parts. And I think we already know the length of AB from a previous question, and that's the square root of 269. So if there's 4 parts to this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, and a line AP is actually 3 times as bigger than PB, then that means that AP is actually 3 times, each part is this divided by 4, and so AP would be 3 times that. Okay. Now we need to use a bit of creativity and try and work out how to get the positions, S and T. So what I've done was I thought, well, I can get the distance formula of A to P. Sorry, I know that the distance is actually this over here, but I also know that the distance is here. Using the distance formula, I'm going to call the point P, I'm going to call the x coordinate S and the y coordinate T. And then I'm just going to find out the position, the distance, AP, in terms of this point S. So I'm going to do, this minus this squared plus this minus this squared, and then do the square root of all that. So just the, Pythagoras theorem. And then I'm going to say that here actually equals this over here. So I get that. That's my first equation. Now I need another equation that connects S and T together, and then I can solve them simultaneously and find out what the actual coordinate S and T are. So I was thinking, and this is where I feel like I probably need to go through the whole question, but we know that the equation of the line AB from question 5D, that's what it asks us to do then. And we know that the equation is this one here, y equals negative 13x over 10 plus 4 over 5. Now at the point P, when x is S and when y is T, if I substitute that into this equation, I'm going to get another equation with T and S in it, which is this one here. And then what I can do is I can solve those two equations simultaneously to find out what S and T are, and that will give me the coordinate P. To do that, I wouldn't try and doing it by hand because it's too ugly. I would solve that using the calculator. Now I'll show you how to do that on my calculator. I've got a slightly different calculator to yours, but I'm pretty sure, I'm certain you can do it on yours. I just don't have the capability to show you that on the computer. But I'll show you on mine, and I'll get the right answer, and so that way you can hopefully you can do it on yours. Okay, here we go. So on my calculator, I've put in all of these things. The notation for mine is solve. Put in all of that stuff there, and I've got the other equation. Solving for A, and I get these. I get actually 4 values, but I know that A can't be this one because it has to be a positive answer just based on the original question. So A is 7 on 2, and B is negative 15 on 4. And so we're happy. Well, I think we're happy with the answer. We've solved it simultaneously, and we've got that. So quite an involved question, and quite challenging. I'll show you how to do the next one. I think it was 5G this time. It's a very, very similar question, so I won't go through it all. I'll just kind of give you the scaffolding to do that. So again, we've got this line here. We've got this line A to P, and we're told, we know that, A to B, and we know that AB equals the square root of 269. This time we're actually told something a little strange. I'm not sure if I can get the right answer, but I don't really understand how to do this. So AP to AB, we're actually told that that's a ratio of 3 to 1. Now that doesn't quite make sense to me because if it says that P is an element of A and B, which in my mind means that P exists somewhere along this line, in between A and B. But here, this is actually saying that AP is 3 times bigger than the total length AB. So that means that P actually has to be all the way down here somewhere, to be 3 times as big. But if you go through the same processes, and you still got the same length, the original length, and so therefore the length A to P is actually 3 times this, rather than in the last question with 3/4. If you go through those processes, you will get the right answer in the end. But the idea, the sense of the question just didn't make sense to me because I think that P should be much bigger than A and B, and it says that P was between A and B. But I guess the math still works, and if the maths works, then that's okay. So I hope that has helped a little bit. I will make another video just to show you how to do that other question. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea. So yeah, thanks. If you've got any other questions, let me know.